home. We are WNST. Taos, Baltimore. Baltimore Positive. We're getting it going here this week in what is really a crowded, busy week. If you hear this segment on the back end of the Preakness, God bless you. We're heading into a holiday next week. Things are happening here. You're going to hear some best of awesome stuff next week. I'm also relaunching the website in a whole new way, and you're going to love it next week. But before we get to that, we got Crab Derby, which was moved from the rainy Wednesday to Friday. We're going to be doing the Maryland Crab Cake Tour at Fadley's on Friday in conjunction. They combined two great events into one great event on Friday, and there's an Oriole game, and there's a horse race, and we got a Ravens schedule, and things are happening. I'm going to have Pac-Man scratch-offs to give away. Super lucky batch. I've had a bunch of people telling me they won. I'm taking a lot of fun pictures with people down at the market. Luke and I will be there on Friday. The Mariners are in town. Things are happening. I feel like I have a shorter segment. I'm going to have to talk about it real fast. Wendy Bronfein is here. She is our Chief Cannabis Officer from all things Curio Wellness. Aside from seeing Hart this week at CFG Bank Arena, and they were lovely and awesome, and Chief Trick. I had a need for a Curio product over the weekend, and when I'll tell you about it and my sleeping patterns, amongst other things, and circadian rhythms. How are you? How's life? What's going on post 420, Memorial Day, spring is sprung? You got all sorts of things going on, right?
Yeah, hi. All good. I'm very good. I actually caught the O's last Friday on a win, so that was great.
So you
Curio's
went to the
got
ballpark and you
I
sat in those
did.
great seats and you had an awesome experience.
Actually, I was someone else's guest on Friday night and it happened to rain, so conveniently they had invited me upstairs into a box. So that was good on a rainy night. But it was funny because I was there was it like 2 weeks ago when Kimbrel threw the game on Sunday and he
Which
had
one?
and
Yeah.
that had happened on Friday. So then he came out and they had like the whole video and all the sound going and the whole stadium started like booing and I was like, oh God. And the score was 3-2, which is like it was 1 point off that time. And I thought, oh no, like I'm bad karma. This is gonna happen again. And then, but didn't happen. He broke his bad streak, and I guess we're all good now.
Yeah. I mean, I talk baseball all the time with Luke about bullpen and overuse and how much you can expect a 36-year-old, guy to, no matter how much money you're paying him, you can't run him out there 6 nights a week. And, and this is all great for you too, being a baseball fan, coming back and sort of being into the flow of knowing who the players are and having, you got a favorite?
I probably have to play favorites with my 4-year-old who goes between Adley and Gunner and Cedric, but he didn't want to get his hair cut recently because he wanted it to get longer to be like Gunner. So
What
now
what
we're
what about like Dean Kramer? Because this is more Kramery, right? I mean, like I got the Kramer look,
oh
right?
yeah. No, he likes the little flip out of his baseball hat.
I
So
can
it's
make that out of this if I
yeah,
want
yeah.
to. I have to have the right hat on, the right Baltimore Positive hat. For Curio, well, I want to tell you a fun story because we usually we'll talk cannabis. I've got a new move. Let me show you what happened here because I was running at and I didn't know what happened at the bottom of this,
Yeah.
and so
Oh yeah.
so it kind of falls out at the bottom. So this is how much I had left, but I have reconned. I've been in the store. Everything you said about making the 420 thing right. You guys really, it was a weird thing, but I wound up getting this. So I needed this. So I haven't told this story on the air. I haven't really told this story to almost anyone. Dr. Steve at Elliott Chiropractic got it because we got adjusted the other day, but we were unwinding. So what's number one on your bucket list in life other than creating a great cannabis company with great science and helping people?
I think culinary school.
You still want to go to culinary school?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Well, you can do that at any age. That's not like,
Right.
I want to be a horse jockey and I'm too big and too old to do it. So that's kind of cool. So my bucket thing is seeing the Northern Lights, right? So,
Uh-huh.
and look, I get too deep, but I'm a Tony Robbins guy. I've studied myself. I've studied, my life. I've written goals from the time I've had bucket lists before they were just called goals. They were just called writing ish down that you might want to do in life before it was called that. And I have those lists from the late 80s and 90s. And, not brag, not boastful, whatever, almost everything I've done. I wanted to do this. I wanted to go to Tahiti. I wanted to go to Australia. I wanted to create a company. I wanted to be nationally syndicated. I have all those written down. I wanted to own a radio like all of these things that were goals I've done in my life. And I'm sort of running out, like literally, like Wimbledon was one of those. I don't really care anymore. I wanted to go to the Indy. Don't really care anymore. I wanted to go to Asia. I still want to go back to, and like there are places I've been that I want to go back. A few places I still need to get to or feel like I want to get to, but not many. But the Northern Lights is my thing, right? So I've been studying this for 10, 15 years, never really had any opportunity, right? Because you have to really seek it out. They're not, the basic thought is when you live in Baltimore, Maryland, you will have to get really lucky in an airplane, or you have to fly somewhere really north and be really friggin' cold to do
Right.
it, or be really explorational. And I've been to Iceland 10 times through flying Iceland Air and all the ones that went out of business and whatnot. I've been over I interviewed Cal Ripken over Russia, like literally on the way to Beijing. We were on the same plane. I did an interview with him over the North Pole, literally. So like I've flown, like I've had a few, maybe it could happen. And then Friday, the word leaks that it's happening, right? And then Friday night, it happens, and I'm here, and it ain't happening for me because I got clouds and we're not here, but it's happening for everybody. I know people don't even care about it, are walking out in their backyard, and I'm ready to spend 10 grand and fly to Norway or Finland. And so it happens for people, and they're like, oh my God. And even normal people that didn't think they were going to be, oh my God, were, oh my God. Tampa, Florida, Austin, Texas, middle of Kansas, people all over the country, Portland, Oregon, everywhere, seeing Lake Michigan, all over my timeline, seeing this thing that I've sought my whole life. That's this sort of marvel in the world. That's the most beautiful thing you would ever see, according to everybody who's seen it, right? So wake up Saturday, jelly, envious, congratulating friends, asking the world, what did you see? What did you see? Tell me how magnificent it was. And by 11 in the morning, I realized this is a weekend long event. Like I said to my wife, maybe we should try to like get to Maine. Maybe we should try to get north. And then I started working it. I stopped all my work and all the stuff I had to do all weekend, things that needed to get done. Nothing got done. 11 o'clock, I see the forecast. The forecast is 90% for the upper part of North America. It's this wide, I could pull the picture up, this wide swath that was a 90% chance at 11 in the morning. And I'm like, all right, when I've looked at this before, I'd have to fly 5 days to Finland, have to do all this stuff. And I said, let's work on this. Cloud cover from Chicago east everywhere. I looked. Not even for, I have points in airlines. So this wasn't like stupid expensive, but it was stupid points expensive, right? Like, wait, $600 is 35,000. All right, take the points. It's the
Right.
Northern Lights. Had a flight to Minneapolis, ready to go, was going to happen. 15, 20% cloud cover chance. Like, I don't want, let's keep going. My wife's like, Boise. I'm like, we ain't going all the way to Boise. I can't even get to Boise. I looked to get to Boise and it was clean. And I'm like, Boise. Well, if we can get to Boise, we can probably get to Spokane through Denver. Could get to Spokane. 1 o'clock, I said to her, we can get to Spokane. I went to book the flight, only had one seat. Not meant to be, just not meant to be. She goes and gets a sandwich. I said, I'm going to keep checking. 10 minutes later, 1:30, 4 o'clock flight happens. And it points that we're both just sitting here staring at the screen. So let me get the update from the National Ocean Atmospheric 90%. It's 1:30. I'm like, it's this, or we spend a whole week running to Finland, freezing our asses off in an igloo with mushers and dogs. Fun, cold. My people are from the equator. So she says to me, one of the most romantic things ever, let's effing go. Let's go. Push it. Let's go. Let's go. And I'm like, all right, let's go. So we hit go. This is where you come in at Curio Wellness, that I had to move product here because I said to her, this is going to be like taking a limo to Spokane, and then we're going to get a rental car, and we're going to sit in a car with my back all night looking up at the stars. We're not going to sleep because we can't sleep. You got to look up. One of us has to be on duty. This is where the Curio Move product comes in because it hurt. Like I'm sore. I mean, I got sores that I don't know. We did this. We dropped everything. We flew to Spokane. Landed safely at 9:15, got a Dairy Queen Blizzard, it was delicious. And we got a rental car, very comfortable rental car, and we drove to a place, and I had to look at where to go. And when I got the map out, it was like a white light. Loon Lake, Loon, Loon Lake, Washington, 45 minutes from the Canadian border in the middle of nowhere, north of Spokane. We're lunatics. Let's go. We're at Loon Lake. We get there at 11:15. And the forecast went from 90% to 15 or 20%, but it was still green. So we're sitting there at 11 o'clock, and about 1:30, they had a new update, and the whole thing had gone away. And we're sitting at a lake north of Spokane at 3:45 in the
Is
morning.
anyone else there or no?
There were 3 or 4 cars that came.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Like people knew that this would, and we had a northern exposure, which would have put the effect on the lake, which would have exploded it around these ponderosa pines. I saw the pictures the night before from that part of the world. It was unbelievable. We got there, the whole thing disappeared. We took a gondola ride in downtown Spokane, flew home, and my back hurts like hell. Thank you for your move product. So there's my Curio. Did I do a good job as a Curio spokesperson here for this? To say
Oh
that,
my
like, I've
God.
been rubbing this along my spine, and I feel better now. It's taken a couple of days and a couple of yoga classes and some deep stretching and deep breathing. But you can't say that we're not the craziest people you've met to have done that or
Yeah.
tried that. And now it's like, all right, now it becomes even more of a quest. It's like trying to win the Kentucky Derby now. It's like, all right, we're going to do this now. But it's completely unforecastable. And is that the craziest story you've heard in the last couple days, at least?
Maybe in the last couple of days, but honestly, the whole time I was thinking, man, before I had kids, I could have just gone and done something like that.
Tell me what's going on at Curio now that I've entertained you. I haven't had a chance to tell the story to anybody. We're friends in the real world. You know, I've gotten a little crazy to begin with. And then I came back and went to Heart and Cheap Trick on Monday night, and I got to dance and have a good time. But like, it was the craziest thing. I didn't want to tell people because I thought like the thing we will do is post when they appear. Like at
Right.
3 a.m, we're going to put up, we're looking at the Northern Lights, and this is the most amazing thing, and you won't believe what we did. And instead, it was like, you won't believe what we did.
Yeah.
But I do thank you. And your product here, tell everybody how this product works, because I was running low. We have a gel and stuff like that. But I try to explain to naysayers, people that still have stigma issues, people that don't understand what you're trying to do, that you're doing stuff over there other than getting people high, is, from the front door, that you're really helping people. And this product really helps me. It does.
Well, I mean, that's wonderful. That's exactly what we wanted to. That Move topical, it's sort of like almost like a deodorant applicator. So you kind of get the benefit of not only putting the topical on your body to deal with pain, and inflammation, but you almost get like a massage effect because you're like rubbing it in with the applicator, which makes it nice. I will tell you, because I'm like the type of person with a product who will like, you know, skim out every last drop. The end of that Move, like I've taken to when it's like the last bit.
Hold on, let me show you where I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
with this.
And like take
Like,
it,
I didn't know. Like, I
but
think
like
everybody's had
pop
a
it out
deodorant
of
fall apart
the,
at the end, but it's
yeah.
like a little hockey puck that's left at this point. That's a lot.
Yeah, no, so I've like popped out and then like at that point actually put it in my hand and rubbed it on.
Well, I
Because
got plenty
because
of it
you're down to
left.
the bottom of the applicator, but I'll just take a piece out and like use it.
Well, listen, this is not an inexpensive product, so it's not $9.99 and buy one get one free on,
Yeah, but it lasts a really
as
long
seen on TV.
time.
That was what I was going to say. I literally acquired this product when your father educated me about his Crohn's and this and that, and you were educating Gina Shock, because Gina had said to you, I'm a 60-something-year-old rock and roll Hall of Fame drummer that's still trying to do what I did when I was 20, and it hurts like hell sometimes, and I'm in pain. And that's one of the reasons I brought her, because I think I knew that, and your dad's a drummer. But it was at that moment you guys were talking about the products. I'm in the store. It's Christmas week, and I'm like, my back hurts like hell, right? Like it just does, right? And at those moments, you're reaching for an Advil or doing something is not good for you, right? You're trying to say, where's the Bengay? Where's the Absorbine Junior that my dad used to, and we'd stink to high hell. Oh my
Yeah.
God, he put that on, smelled like body odor on body odor. It was terrible, absorbing. But this here, really odor free, not gluey or weird, but more than that, I bought the Magic, took the ride at Christmas time and took it. And then I started using it, and my wife started using it after yoga and for different recovery, just making you feel better. And it started to work. And then you said to me, like in February, when I brought it up, hey, this is working. You're like, that thing's going to last forever. It's May. And
I know.
it's still working. And that's just the point. Like, it lasts a long time, a lot longer. I mean, I bought like 3 of these because somebody I know put them on sale on 420, and I'm like, I got to stock up. I think
Yeah.
it'll last me the year. I really do. And as long as it doesn't
Oh,
expire,
yeah.
it'll last me the year.
It takes, yeah. I mean, it's like, I mean, as the person who makes it, you're like, well, it's not the best turnover in sales, but I mean, from like a product standpoint, it's excellent to have something that just like is so long lasting, particularly because you're kind of like rubbing it on generously, usually because of that massage technique, and it still goes forever. And I mean, I use topicals a lot. So yeah, it takes a while to run through it and have to replace it,
I'm an out of
which
the
is
shower guy with it, honestly. I mean, that's the best
which
for
is good
me.
because your pores are open, and then it's even more penetrate. Everything's warm. That's a good time to do it.
All right, so another product that I can't like endorse at this point, but I'm like experimenting, I'm trying. I want to talk about this because I don't even have the sticker off of this because I had a funny experience because I was in your store and I'm trying to figure out which chew isn't going to get me high, right? Because
Hmm.
I got stuff to do, right? So and I'm always on you about terpene and profile and where we are and eating the wrong gummy and like making sure you know what you're doing and 25s and fives and just this is an educational thing is what we do. But this here, you're still trying to educate me. Let me get the wrapper off of this because I originally had requested the wrong thing. You know what I mean? I filled out the thing and I'm like, all right, that's not really what I want. And this is, kudos to your folks over there at Foreign Daughter that he's like, you sure you want this? And I'm like, no, let me see. No, no, no. This is the one I have. I want this. So tell everybody what this is because I'm trying it because it's a mental clarity sort of product, correct?
Is that the THCV or the 20
Yes,
to 2?
correct.
Okay.
It's the V.
Yeah. So
THCV 10 chews. Yes,
yeah,
correct.
yeah. So that's 4 milligrams of THCV, 1 milligram of CBD, and 1 milligram of THC. So the THC, which is the only cannabinoid in there that could create a psychoactivity, is one, very low, and two, balanced by that milligram of CBD. So there's really no psychoactivity in there. The cannabinoids are working together to potentiate each other, but the THCV, which is called a minor cannabinoid, seems to show effects related to energy, mood uplift, and alertness, right? So
So you're
can be
trying to
real.
extract the good stuff that's useful,
Mhm.
that's identifiable without having the, I feel dopey, drowsy, not focused, high, like literally.
Right,
Right.
right. So we call that the focus formula because when we first made it and trialed it with um, patients, we found that we got a very positive response on people feeling more alert and focused. So to the point, like more of a day, I mean, you could use it any time, but like a daytime type product. I actually used it uh, last week. I had one night where I just slept awful, and that doesn't normally happen to me. And the next day, I almost felt like back in like college when you're like, I'll stay up all night and work on this paper. And then you just realize that was a horrible decision.
Yeah, I had
And I,
3 glasses of wine at the post draw before I went to Heart the other night. 5 in the morning, I knew I had three. Even I had 10 glasses of water. Like that's the thing about like, listen, I've sold alcohol my whole life. Guilty as charged, consume it, whatever. There is a feeling that I don't want that feeling, and I had that
yeah,
feeling Tuesday. And this is the kind of product, and these are the kinds of stuff you're doing that try to give you the good feelings of when you want the good feelings, and like, hey, I got to get stuff done. Let's get stuff done here. Because
yeah.
I got to tell you this because your whole little spiel about like THC like, that I'm trying to understand. I had one of these on the plane ride, literally, because I had my laptop and I needed to get work done. I mean, I had stuff I needed to do, and we're chasing the Northern Lights. I'm like, well, I got 6 hours to kill on the plane. Let's just get some right to get something done. And I was hitting one of these, and my wife said, "What are you gonna get a gummy?" Like, and I'm like, "No, no, no. This is I'm working on. I'm trying to figure this out because I got to get some stuff done." So literally, I was trying to explain to my wife what you just explained to me because you know what you're talking about. Wendy Bronfein is here. She's the chief brand officer at the Curio Wellness, our chief cannabis officer here because we're trying to learn stuff about different stuff. You have a new product, right? And I want to talk Edie Parker and rewards, but you have a new product that's a fast acting chew that I want to throw because a lot of folks do. Um, the gummy thing weirds them out because they're like, is this coming on 10 minutes, an hour, three? How long am I going to feel happy and not focused and be able to chill out a little bit? And that's always been a weird edible thing. I think for anybody that consumes edible, they know what smoking would do to them. They've maybe experienced that and the onset of that. This is a different kind of gummy onset, right?
Yeah. So our regular gummies, you can begin to feel the effects in probably within 15 to 30 minutes. And I would qualify that, like, to what you were saying before, when you start to feel something take effect is not the same as when it has sort of reached its peak of effect. That's sort of where that problem comes in when people over consume, because they don't realize that that might just be the start of the feelings, not what the full feeling is. With the fast acting, we're using an emulsion technology that is scientifically validated, that allows the chew to take effect inside of 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're looking for something that takes effect very fast, and on the medical side, we talk about like rescue products, right? If you suddenly get nauseous, you need something very fast to help that stop, right? And typically you're usually doing something that can be absorbed in your mouth, or you're smoking, because those have the fastest uptick. So the fast acting chew provides, at least from a medical standpoint, that solution of getting that rescue product, but you don't have to necessarily smoke. From an adult use perspective, I think you're kind of tackling that issue of when will this hit? Well, here you're going to know it should be inside of 5 to 10 minutes. You're going to feel that start to take effect. And like if you're going into like a social situation, and you just want to like get to it, there you go.
Well,
It's a short
and
thing.
this is my public service, and we're going to run. We'll talk rewards next week, and we're certainly going to want to talk about the Edie Parker line as well with you, as well as I got to get Eddie on because he's happy, and
Yeah,
I need to
I
be
told him
happy.
that
It's
last
springtime.
week.
Tell him
Yeah.
I'm ready to be happy. But the red wine issue I had at the Preakness poster, like it's a warning for everybody. I do this for gambling, for whatever. Like I didn't need the third glass, right? And go slow with the gummies, with anything you're doing here. Go slow. I mean, it's as
Cut
simple
them
as
in
that, right?
half. You only
Yeah,
take half. You
yeah,
don't take the whole
yeah.
thing.
All right. Well, we'll tell everybody to be. Foreign Daughter is Timonium, York Road, just south of Timonium Road. Stop by. They have so many cool things to explore, as well as cool T-shirts and other holistic and medicinal and different things. But they're good
And
people, and they're local people.
nominated for Baltimore Magazine Best of Baltimore. So go online and vote. You can vote every day until May 24th.
Till May 24th. So we get another week. All right. Well, we'll get after that next week as well. Wendy Bronfein is the Chief Brand Officer at All Things Curio Wellness. You can learn more at Curio Wellness and Foreign Daughter. Make sure you're of the age. Put your little stuff in there and learn like I have been learning here as part of our educational series. I'm going to learn about the ponies this weekend. Preakness in town. We've got an NFL schedule. Ravens are up. Orioles are good. Luke's at the ballpark. I am Nestor. We are WNST. AM 1570. Towson, Baltimore. We never stop talking Baltimore positive.